Oh!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. No, this is the review show. Look at me. I'm just going off, dude. Autopilot, baby. Autopilot. Anyways, we can get into the aspect of the content, and that's why I'm on autopilot here in a second. Review show. Me and JoJo are here to talk about Justice League, the Snyder's director's cut. Or, well, I guess it's not a cut. I guess it's the entire fucking thing. The original movie was the cut. So
it's both. I mean, everything cut. So, he filmed like 5 hours theoretically.
Did he really?
It's still cut.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think every movie has stuff that's cut. This is just like.
Have you ever heard of a part 1 and a part 2? Avengers?
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing, man.
Good lord, man.
But whatever. The Joss Whedon thing, the one they released in a theater, was him cutting and then also refilming a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Let's start there. Did you see the other version of it?
Yeah, I saw both. Yeah, I saw both. The first one I watched, I literally walked out and was like, that movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. And
not at all.
I went back to look at a bit of it after watching this and was like, oh wait, no, it's like really not good. It's worse than
it's terrible.
Thought.
It's fucking terrible. I'll say this. This is the best. I guess this would be our best place to start. Comparatively, the Snyder director's cut, even though it is long, so fucking take that into consideration if you're going to watch it. And once again, full spoiler alert. We are not holding anything back. I understand this just came out a week ago. There will be spoiler alert in the title. So if you're watching this, you're going to get spoiled. We are here to talk about the movie. We're not here to tiptoe around bushes. We're here to talk about it. That's how we do here. So spoiler alert starting now. Anyways, so between the two, like I said, 4-hour movie is definitely a fucking commitment. Like, that is to sit down, you're about to watch a movie for 4 hours. Insanely better. I will still say this, though. DC still just does not get it there for me as far as a superhero movie goes. I think that it could have still been way better than it was. I think that there were certain parts that were significantly enhanced due to it even making sense. Like, I felt like walking out of the first Justice League, if you weren't a comic book reader, you had no idea what the fuck was going on. And even if you were a comic book reader, it was, I only know some of these lines and connected dots due to the fact that I spent some time reading comics. And it still wasn't all there for you. There was still spots where it was like, that didn't make sense.
Like, so often when I'm watching this, or like a Marvel thing even, where it's just like, does this mean anything to someone who doesn't already know these characters? Does anyone actually care about the fact that there's Scarlet Witch or whatever in the second Avengers movie? Does anyone care about Cyborg in this thing? It's just like,
yeah, I mean,
like they're betting on knowing it already.
Yeah, that's fair, 100%. So to me, I mean, obviously DC wanted to be different, and I get that. Marvel was the first to the scene to do this correctly. They wanted to be different, so they went the reverse route, where Marvel's like, let's do a whole bunch of solo movies and then lead up to the Avengers, versus DC was basically like, let's do the fucking Avengers and then lead backwards. Like, or not the Avengers, the Justice League.
The way you're describing it, I think, gives them too much credit, where they didn't want to be different. They just wanted to have the Avengers. They didn't want to do the work. They like, and beyond it, like, as much as I do like this thing I just watched, like, they not only rushed to do the team movie, but they rushed to do like their Thanos.
Yeah.
Almost. Like, they don't fight Darkseid yet, really, but like.
Yeah, there's no way anybody who's not a comic book reader went in there and understood that Darkseid was on the same level as Thanos. No fucking way. I mean, the only time you really see him in the movie, besides the goddamn portal at the end, is him getting his fucking ass kicked by a normal fucking human. Like, I mean, literally got his, or was that Ares that hit him with the axe?
I think it was like Zeus maybe or something.
Yeah, no, Zeus had the lightning, so it was Ares. Yeah. Okay, because I couldn't remember if it was Ares. Yeah, because Ares had the fucking bull horns. Okay, yeah, I was thinking of the dude that had the fucking like weird bones / stick crown. And it was like the king of the humans who fucking buried their box. Yeah, that's not the dude that axed him. So anyway, still Ares. That makes sense. He's a fucking god. We'll give him that. But still, like no one walked away from that movie going, "Wow." Like even me and my significant other were watching it, and I had to point that out to her. I was like, I don't know if you know this or not. I was like, but Darkseid, like that's their Thanos. Like he's actually a fucking beast in the comics. Like this dude is not someone to fuck around with. Like he is world-ending shit. Like this is their Thanos, and it was like he got fucked up in the first 5 minutes that he was even out there, and all he did the entire time was just smack the fucking ground, and then. After that, it was like we saw him through the portal, and that was it. And it was just like, man, dude, you guys really fucked up an opportunity. I don't think anybody will left that movie going, wow, if Darkseid ever makes it to Earth, the Justice League's going to be in trouble. Like, no one left that movie thinking that at all. Nobody. They were just like, wow. Like, Justice League does not give a shit, and fucking Darkseid sucks. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't know if he's ever going to come back in the fray.
The even crazier thing about that, though, too, is like that theatrical version... Darkseid's not in it at all. It's all Steppenwolf all the time.
Yeah, and he's like, just talking about him.
Scene happens.
Mm-hmm.
I like looked at it again. Ares, I think, axes Steppenwolf.
Is it really?
It's the same.
Oh wow!
They just, like swapped out the CGI character.
Wow, so they weren't going to throw Darkseid in at all.
Darkseid's never even on. It's and like credit to the Snyder version. Steppenwolf sucks way less.
Yeah, I actually like Steppenwolf a lot more in this one. Just the last fight scene with him and fucking Black Suit Superman was so fucking good. Especially when Superman like fucking broke his damn horn off and shit. I was like, damn, dude, Superman was being fucking brutal, dude.
And I came into this really skeptical because like Zack Snyder's made some junk. And also, I saw that other Justice League movie, but the point where I turned to, okay, maybe this is all right, is like when Steppenwolf is fighting the Amazons and just like throws a horse.
Yeah.
Just like grabbed a horse and threw it.
Just threw it, yeah.
No, it's follows. It's great.
Yeah, he was a lot more aggressive, which fit his character. Yeah, it fit his character to be aggressive the way that he was. The biggest thing that I will say, which was like, I literally almost wanted to turn it off immediately. We did not need to fucking follow Superman's fucking roar that he let out after he died for 15 minutes. It literally, I'm not exaggerating, whenever it's going up the ice mountain, we were at 10 minutes. 10 minutes into this fucking movie, and all we have done is follow Superman's goddamn voice waves through the entire Earth at this point. I was like, bro, I don't need 15 minutes of fucking wind up for a movie I've already technically fucking seen. Like, let's get there, please. Like, man, dude, that shit was so long. Oh my god.
There's maybe a middle ground between the Joss Whedon version, like, let's just get right to it. Here it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Batman found a parademon. Now he knows what's going on. And then this version of let's watch everything very slowly.
Right.
Like, there's still. This didn't need to be 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like they let him do it, and he just said, "All right." You know?
Now I will say this: that end scene and this one made me a lot more excited for something to come after than the first one. That's for sure. Like with Joker, like, hey, Jared Leto finally played a great Joker for once. He finally played a good Joker. Right. I was excited with this one at the end. Because, like, it's so crazy. Like, I always go back and look at the Joker he played. And then I see him in movies like Denzel Washington just had that one where it was like The Little Things. Where Denzel Washington's like this retired fucking cop. And they got, what's his face from, is it Romney? The dude that played Freddie Mercury in Queen. They got him. There you go. Yeah, they got him in there too. So they're both detectives, but like Romney's like the new like upcoming guy, and Denzel Washington was like on this case that basically caused him to have like 3 heart attacks and lose his fucking wife, all this other stuff. And so like it was like, oh well, you know, this case is kind of similar. Let's let them fucking like work together or some bullshit. So they start like working together, and like they're both like this dude's our guy. It's this weird fucking refrigerator mechanic dude, and it's Jared Leto. And he just plays that creepy fucking vibe so well. And it's like, and then you turn him into like the Saints Row version of Joker in the fucking movie. It's like, why? Whose fucking thought process was like, the Joker just, he needs a grill. Let's fucking shave his head. Let's make him cool, man. Let's make him edgy. Like, the Joker's already cool. Like, why do we have to change the Joker? Joker's already a badass. Like, we'll never get the perfect Joker.
It seems so mismatched with Ben
right?
Affleck, like, older Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jared Leto's older than he looks, kind of. He's, literally, real Jared Leto is, like, in his 40s or something. But, like, that guy, that Joker guy sucks, man. It's like,
and like I said, we'll never get a perfect Joker. I understand that, because like to me, when people ask me what Joker I want to see, I always refer them back to two different points in the Joker in the comics that were fucking phenomenal for me, and one will always be a Killing Joke. That Joker was fucking amazing. Like, that was when Joker was like, I literally can do what I want. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who your name is. Fucking Barbara Gordon, done. Like, fucking Commissioner Gordon, I'll do whatever I want. It doesn't matter. And then A Death of the Family, where he literally cut off his own fucking face and then, like, nailed it to Batman's door to let him know, I know who you are. I know your secret identity. I know where you live. I know who you are. And then broke back into the police station to fucking get his face back out of evidence and stapled it on and had a belt across his forehead. So he's just going around the comics with this rotten face on. I was like, I mean, dude, just a different Joker, man. And it just, oh my God, dude. But that being said, so you have that aspect of the Joker. And then I got to say, the Arkham series. The Arkham series Joker, like, I don't know, did you play the game series from start to finish?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that to me was like the perfect Batman and Joker relationship, like ever. Like, even through comics.
It's like the animated series, you know? Like,
yes.
Did you watch? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's the Joker. That's the Joker I'm into. I mean, that's the Batman thing I care about the most, for sure, is that cartoon.
Exactly.
Kid, so,
like, I mean, I love, it's 2 is where he dies. And then 3 is where Batman is constantly, like, having him show up in his fucking, like, whenever he's, like, brooding and shit, and then Joker's just randomly on a fucking, like, building roof next to you and talking and cracking jokes and shit like that. Yeah, it was so fucking cool.
This is a unrelated spoiler, I guess, so look out for Arkham series spoilers here.
Hey, we said this is all fucking spoilers. Dude, Arkham 2 is no, he didn't die in the first game.
No, because in the second game, it's Clayface the whole time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was right. It was Clayface.
Because of that cartoon, I think Clayface is awesome. So when that twist happens, it's the coolest thing ever. That's
right. I mean, Arkham is so old at this point. Like, that was Xbox 360. You haven't played that game at this point, and you get upset that you got spoiled. You didn't want to play the game. Get the fuck out of here. You did not want to play the game, or you would have played it at some point. It has been free on Game Pass at some point. It is probably, you can probably pick it up for like $2 off of fucking G2A right now. Get out of here. Don't come at me.
But if you haven't played it, play that. It's really good.
It's a great series.
Yeah, all of them.
So, but yeah, back to Justice League. So,
right.
Yeah, Steppenwolf was a huge improvement. I really enjoyed Steppenwolf being kind of like brought up. Darkseid was super disappointed with. I was happy to see him. It was kind of cool that they showed who the fuck Darkseid is for people who don't know. But I still think that they probably left more confused than anything else. What was actually funny to me was the day before I was talking to my grandma. And she was like, hey, just so you know, I'm trying to get into some more of the Marvel stuff. And I know they're coming out with shows where those going to be at. And I was like, well, you want to look for like Disney Plus is where you're going to find like, the WandaVision and da-da-da-da. And so I told her that the Zack Snyder cut was going to be coming out soon. And she's like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, you need to look for that on HBO Max. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll go look. And so I was like, she might watch, she might not. I told her it was 4 hours. Literally the next morning I get a text and it's like, so who is Martian Manhunter? And I was like, well, somebody apparently watched Zack Snyder fucking movie.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was like, they didn't do any setup for him either. Like,
no, the bit where it turns out like he was Martha Kent was him. It was just like, why?
Yeah, that made zero sense to me.
Any sense? And then also, if you don't know who he is, who the fuck's that?
Yeah. She's just like, who's Martian Manhunter? And I was like, he's a member of the Justice League. He's a hero. He's a good guy. He's kind of a badass. I don't know why they didn't give him any setup.
Why isn't he helping out?
Yeah,
why is
nothing.
He only pretending to be Martha and then disappearing?
Yeah, What? Just to talk to Lois Lane. So I kind of got and did you ever read or play the Injustice game?
Yes. Yeah, I love that. That's great.
That's the kind of feel that I get where they're going with the story. Like, if there is to be a Justice League 2 movie. Like, I feel like that's kind of where they're heading, is the Injustice Gods Among Us, because, like, with Lois Lane being the key, if you will, like, I mean, that's, like, one of the best times, like, Superman's ever lost his shit was whenever Joker did the shit with the nuke and fucking Superman fucked it up and ended up killing Lois Lane. And then he fucking kills the Joker right in front of Batman when he's interrogating him and shit. It was so good because I love it because he's just holding him and he's like, tell me, it might be too soon, but will you ever love again? And then he just fucking puts his hand straight through his fucking stomach. Like, so I feel like that's the setup they're going for, but
I'm not clear, like, if that's what his plan is, or if that's just him having, Batman's having the premonition of the thing that happens, so now he knows to save Lois Lane. Like, I wonder if he wants to make that a whole movie, actually, or what? Because,
yeah,
or if it's just this weird post-credits, look out, don't want this to happen. I don't know. Because a movie of Bruce Wayne hanging out with the lady from Aquaman and Deathstroke is like,
I was excited to like see Deathstroke again. I don't remember him in the first one, but apparently he was in the first one. I didn't remember that.
Only in that post-credit scene, also.
Okay.
Like, it was just he shows up on the boat and talks to Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And then it's a way I rewatched that too, and it's a way worse little bit because just he comes on to the boat and Deathstroke does the thing. It's like, I hope you're not messing with me, and Lex is like, don't you think it looks like the good guys are starting a little bit of a league? Don't you think we should have a league of our own? And like winks at the camera. And just
I like the Legion of Doom.
It's such a step back, like when you've already fought spacemen, to then say like, oh, look out, it's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, it's Lex Luthor.
Oh no, Lex Luthor and this guy with a gun? Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's fair.
Superman is here now.
Yeah, and I'm so glad they took out the Batman smiling scene. Like, that was the crux of the first one for me. Once I saw Batman with that shit-eating, like, full smile, teeth showing and everything, I was like, bro, that's not Batman. Like, this is not... Batman doesn't do that. I don't think Batman knows how to smile. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, a grin is one thing, but a smile is another. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, God. So much what the theatrical, the Joss Whedon thing, what he added is just jokes and like not good ones mostly.
Yeah, I think he just went from because he did some Marvel movies, right?
He did Avengers.
Yeah. So I think he went from like, hey, I can do. That's okay. That's why I fucking forgot about him. Age of Ultron was terrible.
So like,
but
fundamentally, the thing that's the people who are wrong, even before Whedon, is just executives at Warner Brothers who orchestrated all this stuff and who fired Zack Snyder or whatever they did exactly, and then told Joss Whedon to cut down what they had into a movie they could put into a theater,
Right.
So it's partially, I mean, Joss Whedon made bad choices also, but like, it's not all his fault.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's partially his fault. Like, I don't know if you remember, there's a bunch of extra scenes in the other version where there's just like a Russian family. Like,
with that Flash saves.
A fortress.
Yeah, that Flash saves. Yeah, I saw a meme about that where it was like Flash saves family of 4, Zack Snyder cut, Flash saves the universe. It was like
it's just like,
oh man,
a total waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
He cut out stuff that like gives any character to Cyborg, like, and then put
Yeah,
in
that's
stuff
fair.
that was junk.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a weird decision.
Yeah, because I mean, the only
Cyborg's so much
people
better.
outside of the comic readers that are going to know anything about a Cyborg at that point are like the people in our generation who grew up watching like Teen Titans and shit, you know?
Yes.
Like that's the only people who are going to know who the fuck Cyborg is. Other than that, they're just like, who's this fucking emo teenager who's just like, my life fucking sucks, but yet you have all the power in the world to do whatever you want. Like, my life sucks.
Yeah, because that's the only way I know Cyborg. I had to Google, like, wait, can Cyborg fly? What's up with that? Because he didn't used to be able to do that. I guess they changed it in the comics now. Because they made him way more powerful. Yeah. Way more powerful.
I mean, all the characters definitely were. I was happy with a lot more the character building, obviously, but I mean that comes with adding another fucking 3.5 hours into a movie.
Only 2.
But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's missing a lot, in my opinion, to still be considered. Like, I mean, I look at it and I'm like, this can't be the best DC has to offer. You know what I mean? Like, especially for a group movie like The Justice League. Like, it's still not there. Yeah, Steppenwolf was great, but my issue is like, when you had Ronan, for instance, in Guardians of the Galaxy, they did a very good job of letting you know Ronan's a big deal, but he's not where the buck stops. I don't feel like leaving that. If I was to put my comic book knowledge aside, I see no difference between Steppenwolf and Darkseid at this point. Like, Darkseid obviously sounds like he's the master, but Steppenwolf was able to do 85% more on Earth than fucking Darkseid was able to do, and he came with an army. Steppenwolf had like a band of fucking the fucking bug guys that fucking they I guess didn't want, was like, here's the rejects, take them, and he did like 75% more than Darkseid did. Like, it was, and he had to find the fucking boxes. Darkseid came with the boxes, like they were already with him with his fucking band of sorcerers to mend this shit together and everything else. Like I said, they did a very bad job at portraying who Darkseid is, how big of a threat he actually is, because there are going to be people who are going to watch this and not know who Darkseid is and be like, wow, that dude.
He was fighting a lot of people in the past there, multiple gods.
He was fighting a lot of people, but he came with an army. I mean, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That is one thing I will give you, is that he didn't have a lantern against him. But also, Darkseid didn't have a Kryptonian against him. So, sure. I mean, they kind of...
Darkseid made a strategic retreat, you know.
I don't know if I'd say he made a strategic one. I don't think he would have left if he wasn't dragged onto the fucking ship. I think he would just stayed there and died, because he even tried to get back up and then he passed the fuck out. So... But I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, he had ships and ships and ships of people landing to help fucking do what he needed to do. And once again, the box was right behind him. Like, he didn't have to go find it and fight off these hordes. All he had to do was just drop down, smack the ground, get the boxes together. We're good. He could have threw fucking everything forward to keep those motherfuckers back. Nope, not even close. I feel like that was a terrible show of like Darkseid in general, like that whole first bit, and then for his second screen.
A little flash forward thing though. There's a little where like they show like the bad version of what will happen if we resurrect Superman. Like Cyborg has some vision of that, and like Darkseid strip like melts dudes with eye lasers. And so
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
But also, I might be projecting my own knowledge of Darkseid onto that, so I don't know if you're a neutral observer, if you...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll obviously see that, but at the same time, the same thing can... Well, no, because he did put his hand on Superman's shoulder, so you can't blame... Yeah, but see, like, everything didn't seem like it was in, like, chaos at that point. It seemed like Darkseid did fuck up some people, and then the next time he has that dream, everything is apocalyptic, but it's clear that Superman was obviously part of that as well. You know?
Yes. That's true.
So it still doesn't feel like... I mean, Darkseid could do that all by himself if he wanted to. Obviously not if he's got like Green Lanterns and fucking goddamn Son of Krypton against him, but I don't know. It just, I feel like Darkseid was not portrayed anywhere near as good as he could have been, and I highly doubt anybody who doesn't have comic knowledge is going to sit down, watch that movie, and be like, so this is Justice League's Thanos. I just don't see it. I could. Darkseid doesn't seem any different to me in that movie than fucking Ronan did in goddamn Guardians of the Galaxy.
Also, I'm really curious, like, how much of that was planned from the start by Snyder. Like, if that was always planned, that scene in the flashback where in the theatrical cut it's actually Steppenwolf instead of Darkseid. If that was always going to be Darkseid, and then Joss is like, I'm cutting out Darkseid from this entirely. Or if Zack Snyder put that in.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I don't like it's because that's Darkseid doesn't even exist in that first movie.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say too. I'd have to take a bet that Joss Whedon had to make a decision of we're just going to completely cut Darkseid from the movie because we don't have time to put Darkseid in the movie. We have to find a way to build up Steppenwolf to make him more than just this throwaway villain. Like I 100% believe Steppenwolf was trying, or I'm sorry, Joss Whedon was trying to turn Steppenwolf into a Ronin, like from Marvel. Not that he did that movie, but still, like that was the goal. I think Snyder did a better job of that, but I still think that there was so much on Steppenwolf and not enough on Darkseid, like at all. Like basically, in my opinion, the way I see the Steppenwolf Darkseid relationship is a lot like the Starscream Megatron, where it's like I fear Darkseid because Starscream fears. Or because Steppenwolf fears Darkseid. Like that's it though. Like there's no other element to where like Thanos had the mysterious shit behind him, but like there were so many stories being told in the movies of like fucking Thanos does what the fuck he wants. He just slaughters fucking civilians and shit. Like he's taking over entire fucking planets with just a fucking cool little fucking two-sword. Like I don't give a shit. Like, you know, like he doesn't care. And it's like Darkseid shows up and gets his fucking ass handed to him and then fucking retreats, and then we just without Superman's help, that's it. Like I don't know what he's gonna do.
Other worlds he conquered, you just don't get to see that, I guess.
But also, that's what I'm saying.
Weird. Also, who the fuck is Steppenwolf? Like, as a person who like likes these characters and like comics on some level, you know, Steppenwolf. Like, that's the guy you made a movie about.
Yeah, that's fair. They could have done something different. I agree, but I mean,
a weird thing.
He was cool. Well, I'll give him that. They did a good job. Steppenwolf was really good in this movie.
So much better.
Yeah, like, the first one was terrible.
In the theatrical version, the idea that this is all just about Steppenwolf and there is no other guy, like, I mean, Steppenwolf. They have to keep saying Steppenwolf, like that's the name of a person to be afraid of.
Yeah, that's fair.
And not a band.
And then there were a lot of scenes they kept in that I was really happy with. One of the ones, the best joke in the movie that I thought was in the movie was especially whenever Flash is like, "What's your superpower?" and Batman's just like, "I'm rich." Like that was great.
Yes,
I'm glad they kept that in there.
Good joke. Also crazy is that like that's Snyder wrote, or whoever wrote this version wrote that, and the best joke in that movie is not one of the ones that the guy who added in a bunch of jokes added in.
Right,
it
exactly.
Makes the Joss Whedon stuff seem so much worse when you realize that's the original movie.
Yeah, and then I definitely enjoyed that they kept the scene in there where the Flash is running around Superman when they first bring him back, and he watches Superman trace him with his eyes, and he was just like, "Oh shit!" Like it just made that it hits that home a little bit more for people who don't really understand like the difference between Flash and Superman, and the fact that he does have super speed too. So yeah, no, that definitely helps bring that scene home. I fucking love that scene so much, but it was one of those things where like I don't know, man. This is my biggest argument with DC in general. My biggest argument with DC is they have so many universe-ending characters that the characters who actually are stupid fucking strong have these powers that look like they're throwaway powers, and they're not. And they're actually as strong, if not stronger, than some of these fucking crazy built-up fucking characters. They just don't have different utilities to use it, right? So, for instance, Superman, right? Everybody looks at Superman, it's like, he's the best. Like, that's the top dog on fucking Justice League. But, like, the Flash is probably one of the strongest, if not the most strong. Like, he could literally vibrate his fucking hand against Superman's face and blast his fucking brain out on the wall. Like, the Flash is stupid fucking strong and stupid powerful, but he'll forever be one of these cleanup characters because his power is so throwaway of, like, he runs fast. To where it's like, what does Superman have? Well, he can freeze breath. He's got laser beams. He's got fucking flying, super strength. Like, there's so many fucking different aspects of him. Same thing with Aquaman. Like, I appreciate where they had, like, Wonder Woman was like, we need to subdue him, and she looks at Aquaman for that. She's like, Arthur, we need to subdue him. Like, thank you. You're giving credit to the fact that Aquaman actually could go toe to toe with Superman. He wouldn't win, but he could hold his own for a little while versus just getting hit once and then fucking Aquaman's down for the count until fucking goddamn Sebastian and Flounder come find him to fucking breathe him back to life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just sucks because there are those characters who are looked at as like, they're the cleanup crew, and Flash looks like that. And I mean, to be fair, so my girlfriend pointed that out, and I agree with it. I wasn't looking at it in the moment, but I mean, obviously there's inexperience, right? So we have to look at that whenever it comes to the Flash. He's still a kid. He's still very cocky and doesn't really understand his powers yet and stuff like that and how to utilize it. But it's like,
and the problem, deliberately, he says, like, established a rule that, like, he won't let himself go beyond the speed of light because he doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to know what the fuck's going to happen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I get that, but my problem with that is like, you give the excuse of you know, like, you give the creator the excuse to then be able to do whatever they want to do. Like, but he's just not experienced yet. But the problem is that in the comics, Flash is still treated that way. And he has... I mean, this dude has literally ran so fucking fast, he's ripped into other dimensions at this point. Like, Flashpoint Paradox. Like, we all know this shit, and it's like, he's still treated as this, hey, where's the cleanup crew at? Where's fucking Flash? Fucking all those guys that Superman beat the fuck out of, they're all knocked up down there. If you can go and tie them up real quick so that way they don't get away, that'd be great. You know, like, that's what we have Flash around for. Like, I'll never forget, I think it was like a fucking, was it an animated episode? Maybe it was Injustice Gods Among Us. It was a cutscene out of that game. But it was like, they're all like, where's Team B? And it was fucking Flash and Green Arrow. And Green Arrow I love. That's my favorite DC character. Like, that is 100% my favorite DC character. But I agree, he is one of those characters. Like, he can't hold his own against anybody in the fucking Justice League. Not even fucking Batman. So, it's like... the Flash and Green Arrow are the cleanup crew. It's like, get the fuck out of here. The Flash does not get his due. He does not get his due. And it's because their other characters are so fucking stupid powerful. Wonder Woman, Superman, fucking Martian Manhunter. Like, they're all Green Lantern. Like, I mean, you have a fucking weapon that has limitless power. Like, it's kind of hard to shine light on all these others. And then you make a movie where you give them, like, one. I mean... Wonder Woman did a good job of holding her own. I'll give her that. I feel like there was a couple scenes where I feel like she was played down so that way Superman could play up. Like whenever she went to go cover Arthur, which once again, this is another part where I was like, fucking Aquaman was fine, but whenever the fucking bridge goes to fall on Aquaman when they're fighting Steppenwolf at the end, and so she jumps over there and it was like 5 big rocks and it covers both of them and then they're just out until Superman gets there and starts beating the fuck out of Steppenwolf. It's like... Arthur would have been fine by himself. Her going over there, she could have easily just, you know, boom, done. The rocks are gone. Like, that's just how powerful she is. But they had to do what they had to do in order to give Superman his fucking spotlight, which is fine. It is what it is. But it's just, I don't know. It's annoying to me because of how strong so many of those are. And it's like, that. It's always been my problem with DC is because they're so strong. They're their own greatest enemy. And that's how the comics are. That's why I could never get into Justice League. That's why Marvel won out for me, because I wanted to see the team as the team versus fucking Wonder Woman went rogue this episode, or fucking we gotta fucking figure out Batman shit, or fucking Superman's pissed off and fucking and all this other shit. We gotta take him down, or the Green Lantern's having a bad day. I don't know, like fucking that was what their comics were built around, and it was so annoying because like, is this a team or is this like a team until somebody wakes up on the wrong side of the bed? Is what it seemed like, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's so hard to make. Because Superman is insanely powerful, right? It's like any
stupid
should just
powerful.
Be able to solve all of this. It's so
yeah.
And
I mean, this is a guy in one of his first comics back in the day sneezed and destroyed a planet. Like, what do you do against that? What do you do? And then you have him come down and fight people like Steppenwolf, where if we're gonna use the comics, realistically could have flicked him and he would have fucking just disintegrated. Versus he was actually able to punch him and fucking hit him with lasers, and Steppenwolf was still going at him. Like, it just it's rough, dude. That's the burden we bear as comic book readers going into these movies. We're just like, fucking hey, dude. It's hard. It's hard sometimes, guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like even like Wonder Woman in that scene where there's like terrorists has the same problem where it's like she's fast enough to block a bunch of bullets, and also has to she shouldn't have to block a bunch of bullets from that guy because she should just be able fast enough to go punch the guy before he shoots
before he even shot the bullets. Exactly. Yep. I literally was thinking the same thing. I was like, they're just trying. So that was my biggest issue with her scene. So I guess to start off, I would say out of the entire DC run, the Wonder Woman movie, the first one, was my favorite. I think that's the best work they've done so far out of the entire DC run. That was, in my opinion, the best movie they've made. I know a lot of people like The Man of Steel. Honestly, I fell asleep both times I tried watching that movie at the same time, and it was always right before the actual fucking fight where fucking Superman apparently kills him. I didn't even know until like a year ago. I didn't know Superman actually fucking killed him at the end of that movie. I had no idea. It was apparently that was what happened. I was like, holy shit. I mean, obviously, we really didn't get an actual like Ben Affleck Batman movie, so you know, there's that.
Bums me out. I would like that. I really wish we could, because like Jeremy Irons is really good in this, like as Alfred.
Yeah, as Alfred. Yeah, I like him as Alfred.
I like J.K. Simmons as Gordon.
He
only has like a minute, but like he's just they have great actors in this that are just like blown. It's such a bummer.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, and I would have liked to see him, but it's hard to give anything to that. I would have been a lot happier if they would have gave me the Flash from the TV series for the movie. I did not care for this kid as Flash at all. I don't know if maybe because I watched the show so much, I was like, fuck, dude, this guy is awesome. Then we get the guy in the movie and I'm just like, you're just not my Barry Allen, man. You're just not my Barry Allen. I don't know what else to tell you, dude. You're just not my Barry Allen. Like, there was so many scenes where he's like all excited because he got the job and he's showing it off to his dad, and I'm supposed to have like this feel-good moment. I'm just like, you're just not my Barry Allen, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. So like I said, Wonder Woman best. We didn't get anything obviously with Cyborg. The Aquaman movies came out later, and those were okay, I guess. I wasn't excited. Or I'm sorry, the one. There hasn't been a second one yet. They're doing a second one, right? But they're doing the second one. Okay.
They're doing a Flash movie.
They are doing a Flash movie? Okay.
They're doing. It's Flashpoint essentially is what the plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now they get to.
I'll tell you about
they get to fuck up something else I love so much. The Flashpoint Paradox.
Michael Keaton.
Are they really?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe he officially signed on to the project.
All right.
And Ben Affleck's gonna be in it too. Like, they're doing multiversal stuff.
For the Flashpoint movie?
It'll be a huge mess. Yes, for the Flashpoint movie.
Well, that makes sense because Flashpoint Paradox, for those of you who don't know, and as I guess I should say, spoiler alert, but in the Flashpoint Paradox, Bruce is who dies in the alley. His dad becomes Batman, and his mom becomes Joker because she goes so insane because her son died. which is fucking amazing. One of the best stories ever fucking written. It's the only time you ever get to see Batman cry. That's why I love that story so much. Because Flash comes back at the very end and gives him that note from his dad, and Batman reads it and starts fucking crying. Like, that shit to me was fucking amazing. So I love the Flashpoint Paradox. It was a great animated movie. It was a great comic book series. It's highly suggest watching and reading. But yeah, so I'm going to be pretty fucking pissed if they fucked that movie up, dude. Because that movie was that animated movie is so fucking good. Like, it's so that's where DC thrives to me, though. Like, Marvel animated movies are okay. Their animated TV shows are really good, in my opinion. Like the Spider-Man one they did where he was like part of the S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy or whatever with like Nova and Power Man and White Tiger. Like,
I don't even know that.
Yeah, they have, it's on Disney Plus too. It's like this whole anime series. Like, because I found out about it because apparently they had an episode where Deadpool was in it. So I went and watched the episode that had Deadpool in it. I was like, wow, that's actually really good. And it was like one of those animated series where it's like, it's geared towards kids, but it's not so much to where it's not adultish enough to where like an adult could sit down and actually enjoy it. To where like, I'm not going to watch Teen Titans Go. Like, it's just not going to happen. You know, Teen Titans, that was a great middle ground. But Teen Titans Go, where they're all fucking chibi and shit, like, that's not going to hold my attention as an adult. It's not like if I was watching it with my daughter or something like, yeah, that's Robin, you know, kind of introducing her to the DC universe. That's a different story. But I'm not, as an adult, going to sit down and be like, all right, let's get it. Like, that's just not going to happen. So, but yeah. So we didn't have enough of these different aspects of that, but whenever you look at the Flashpoint Paradox, like, man, dude, they're going to have to do a lot more character building. But with the Michael Keaton, I see that as he's going to be Batman's dad. He's going to be the Batman in the alternate universe.
Oh, I think so. Maybe they're going to be multiple. Does Flashpoint only have 2 alternate universes? Is that how?
Well, so Flashpoint Paradox is where him and Superman do the race. And Flash runs so fast, he goes into an alternate universe, like a completely different universe. Okay. But it was just those 2 universes. Now, they do start using that to open up the 52, where there's the 52 different universes in DC. Okay. And then we finally have the fallout where it all becomes one. Like, they just get rid of all the other shit. But it depends on which one you read.
I don't know if it actually is official or not, where, like, the guy whose name I'm blanking on right now, who I think is on Walking Dead, he plays Batman's dad in these movies, in the flashbacks, right? Is supposed to be in this also, maybe. As
Oh, you're talking about, okay, yeah. He was in The Walking Dead. He was also fucking in Supernatural as well. Yeah, he was a comedian in Watchmen. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I can't ever remember his name, but he's a great fucking actor. I love him.
Yes. Right. So, I love him. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Which is also funny that you bring that up because in The Walking Dead, the mother's there too. The chick that played Martha Wayne. Yeah, so the guy that they both played Batman's parents, and then his biggest scene that he's known for in The Walking Dead is that she's actually married to this Asian guy. And he's trying to show that, like, I'm the fucking boss around here. I don't care about your guy. Like, I run shit. And so the Asian guy decides he's going to talk up, and he fucking beats that dude to a bloody pulp and kills him right there in front of her. So it's like they went from being like Batman's parents to he's beat the fuck out of her new husband. That's pretty fucking funny. Not that I've cared for The Walking Dead, because I fucking honestly hated that show. I watched like the first season, and I was like, all right, well, just at that point, I feel like I would have been a lot more interested in that show if it wasn't about zombies, due to the fact that zombies were so outplayed the year that show came out. Like, there was just everything was zombies. World War Z, Call of Duty zombies, this zombies, that. There were so many zombie games that got released. I was just like, fuck, dude, zombies are getting outplayed. Like, so, oh my God. But anyways.
Yeah, we got real into zombies for a while there.
Yeah, we did. But I don't know, man. I feel like Flashpoint will be a good movie if they can do it right. I'm really worried. I don't know. I'm really worried they're going to fuck that up. Like I said, DC does so well with their animated movies. Marvel misses the buck a little bit, in my opinion, on that. But DC does so well with their animated movies, and it fucking infuriates me that they can't look at this and be like, okay, cool, why did we do well? Because we stuck to the fucking script and then just do that live. Just do it live. That's all you got to do. Just do it like stick to the fucking script, man. Like, holy shit. I get it. Marvel did a lot of stuff where they definitely changed up a lot of different shit. And that's okay because, like, I don't know. It depends on the movie, I guess, because it wasn't okay with Ultron. Ultron was fucking terrible. That movie was so fucking bad. Oh my god. I was sitting here on my computer, I want to say yesterday, while I was looking over some stuff, and then it would like popped up and it's like the top scenes from fucking Age of Ultron, and I was like, the credits? Because that was my favorite fucking scene. Jesus Christ. That movie was so bad.
They're at a party and they're hanging out, and that's fun. Yeah.
Oh, where fucking Captain America budges the hammer a little bit and fucking freaks Thor out. Like, oh no. Which, you know, it was they did that, and I was like, well, I'm sure they can't wait to fucking make that fucking scene pay off like at the end of the series. That's exactly what they did. And he picks it up, and Thor was just all excited about it. Yeah! I was just like, Jesus, dude. Oh, man. I was still super mad they never gave us like regular Thor back, and we just had like fat Thor for the entire fucking movie. I was waiting for the whenever he called the at the very he didn't come back to like regular Thor and for like until like the end of the fucking movie, right? Like the very end, whenever he was like, I'm gonna go be a fucking Guardian of the Galaxy now, and this chick who has shown nothing but the fact that she's cool with forsaking her people and completely being this fucking bounty hunter. I'm gonna let you fucking run Asgard, because there was total build up for that one. Like, I wouldn't have minded so bad because she was great. She was a great character. She did a great job as Valkyrie. There was no build up for that. That was such an out of nowhere fucking play of you run Asgard. It was like, why? Like, what has she done to show that she's? Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Like, genuinely, they killed off the Warriors 3 or whatever, and his dad and Loki. Like, there's no
so because Thor doesn't want to be on Earth anymore, it's just like, it's your responsibility. That shows how bad of a leader Thor is. Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, there's like 36 Asgardians left. Everyone got murdered.
Yeah.
Everyone got murdered, and then they escaped. The rest escaped on a ship, and then Thanos showed up and also murdered everyone on the ship.
Well, and see, that was the thing, though. That was like the crux of his fucking power, though. Was just like, you're the protector of Asgard. Asgard is where you are, or where its people are, not a place. That means nothing to her. That literally means nothing to her. And now it means nothing to Thor. Literally nothing to Thor. Like, okay. Marvel. That's Marvel. At some point, we'll fucking have review shows where we get into the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie and all that fun shit. But anyways, since we're getting to the end of the Justice League here.
I wonder if they will keep connecting things to this movie, or if they'll just, like, they're making that Robert Pattinson Batman, which is disconnected entirely. But
Joker was disconnected entirely. They're still making Aquaman. They're still...
They're probably going to do another Wonder Woman at some point.
They're doing Flash. I hope not, dude. Wonder Woman 2 was so bad. Oh, I was so upset with that. Wonder Woman 2 was so bad.
Like, they can fix it, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. 2 was terrible.
They made bad
I was
X-Men
upset.
movies, and then they made good X-Men movies afterward. Like, and then they made bad ones again.
Then they made bad ones again. Now that's it.
It's not possible.
Oh, man.
They made 2 good ones and then, like, 3 bad ones. Or something.
So yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that being like the center of their board is like, here's the Justice League. We made the Justice League. Here it is. Let's build around it and just make this fucking web of movies going out versus to where it was like the Avengers is the around circle. Let's build our way in, you know, like, and do all the fucking solo characters building into it, you know?
Yeah. I wonder, like, what they based that Flash movie. I guess maybe they're still writing it, because, like, aspects of this movie now, the Zack Snyder one, the plot is different in a bunch of ways. Like,
yeah, it is.
Cyborg's dad didn't die in the version that they were, you know, that they put in theater. Like, so
to me, this shows a clear lack of vision as far as a road forward.
Yeah.
I think that it was, let's go ahead and get everybody wowed with Batman versus Superman because that's what everybody wanted to see. Like, everybody wanted to see that. So they catered directly to that, and it wasn't good, and it got stacked up against Civil War, which, in my opinion, Civil War was a great movie. If you're stacking it against Batman v Superman, Civil War had a lot of issues that I had problems with. Civil War was probably one of my favorite events in Marvel Comics. And to take something that's on such a grand scale in the comics and then hone it down to like 8 people was a huge disjustice to that movie. They didn't have to do Civil War. Civil War did not have to happen, like, at all in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It literally did not have to happen in order for them to get to Thanos. That was just something that they were like, let's grab the clout of Civil War and fucking throw it in here. Like, they didn't have to do Civil War to get to Thanos whatsoever. They could completely got there without doing that.
Or stuff they had to do with the characters to separate them, or like put people on the run, I guess.
I mean, yes, they had that, but they still could have they could have still done that with just the death of Iron Man's parents and the fact that the Winter Soldier killed fucking T'Challa's dad. They still could have done that. That was completely done without Civil War. None of that tied into the Civil War comic book series. Civil War comic series started completely different. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was like you gave it the name, and then you took the main thing about it, which was the fact that humans or superhumans were government owned now, and then you just randomly threw it together. I don't know. It could have been done better.
They never could have made a movie of the comics.
Oh, for sure.
At that scale.
No, not even close. Yeah, because it literally involved every fucking hero and every fucking villain.
It comes down to, I think, this is a totally separate thing at this point, but like the scale, I mean, the heart of that comic book story is Captain America and Iron Man's disagreement.
For sure.
And so I think they adapted that aspect of it very well.
Maybe.
But also...
But Batman vs. Superman, like I said... They wanted that to be like, I guess, their stepping stone, and it was such a letdown due to it was just rushed, man. Like, Batman v Superman was fucking rushed, and it seemed like they were trying to find everything they could to make it come to a close with the whole Martha scene and the fucking Doomsday coming out of fucking nowhere. Like, that was...
It was rushed, but also it was bad. Like,
yeah, it was terrible.
Like, it was not a good thing to look at with your eyes. It was
not to mention, like, that movie starts out and Batman's just killing people, like running normal fucking people over with cars and shit like that. Like, he's just killing people. It's like, all right, I mean, Batman kills now. There's that.
It makes no sense. Like, the idea that the Joker is alive.
Yeah.
At the end of this movie, like, Batman kills people. Why didn't he just kill Joker at some point?
That was probably the best line out of this new movie for me. Was whenever Batman said, "It's funny to talk about all the people who have died in my arms because Harley Quinn did as well. And when she did, she made me promise that I would kill you." Which it literally says it just like that. Which whenever I can, I will fucking kill you. I was like, damn, that was powerful. Like, that was a great fucking line.
He had a lot of opportunity to do that.
He needs him, obviously. He needs him, obviously. I don't know why. I mean, the Joker said it 1,000 times. What is a Bat King without his court jester? He needs him. Yeah. They're fucking yin and yang, dude.
That works in the comics. That doesn't make any sense here, where Batman just unloads clips on people. Like, I don't know.
And that is my exact argument with Civil War. It worked in the comics, but it didn't make sense here. They just throw shit together, man.
Obviously, comics Batman doesn't kill humans like ever. Like, but like, does a normal depiction of Batman, would he be okay just gunning down parademons also because they're like aliens? And
that's a great question, because I actually thought about that myself. I think obviously if it's push comes to shove and the world's going to end, I don't think Batman's going to really shed a tear about killing them. But it was still hard for me to see Batman using a gun. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. we're just like he's just playing Halo. Like he grabbed some alien dude's gun and he's just
fucking going off. Gets on a turret. Yeah, it was very far outside of Batman's character. But once again, that brings us back to the problem that we have with DC. When you have someone like Superman, what the fuck is there else for Batman to do? You know what I mean? Like, what is there else for Batman to do? Like, he is obsolete at that point. He's 100% They could have done everything they did if Superman would have been there from the start. They could have done everything they did without Batman. 100% could have done every single thing they did without Batman. Probably better.
The thing he contributes is his brain, right?
Yeah. His money.
A plan, and they need, they need to find the heat signature or whatever. But also Cyborg, I guess.
Cyborg did that, though. Cyborg could have tapped into those satellites. Yeah. Superman could have probably fucking done some shit with his eyes where he flew up, looked down, and fucking picked up the heat signature and was like, that's where Steppenwolf's at.
How crazy, that Cyborg listens to his dad's recording and he's telling him all the things that he can do now, and he's like, you could launch all the nukes. And it's like, fuck, what? Why did you give him the power to launch all the nukes?
I literally said the same thing. I said that is a dangerous power to give to a fucking very emotional teenager at this point. Like, his life is gone. It's gonna take one Green Day song for him to just be like, fuck it, we're all dead. We're all dead. I don't want to be this forever. One Green Day song. That's it. The world was over at that point. World is over. He's able to, with one hand, blow up the entire fucking universe with all the nukes in the world. And on the other hand, make someone who had $5.83 a fucking millionaire. Like, there's no range. The range is all over the place. He has everything. Literally fucking everything. Also, it made no sense.
How does his dad even know that he can do these things? Like, it's an alien technology.
It's an alien technology. Exactly. It makes no sense. No sense. None of it makes sense.
No. Their finale plan, too, where it's like, okay, you're going to connect to the Unity thing, and what we need to do is have Flash run around a whole lot, and at this right moment, and he'll push you into it. And it's like, how could you possibly
So we know that was going to work. Yeah, exactly.
You don't know anything about how this shit works.
Nothing at all.
Which is still better than how it was in the movie version, where it's just like, parademons feed on fear. That's it. And so
I guess the only thing that I can give them an inch on would be the fact of Cyborg going into that is because basically he's like fucking 75%, well, fucking more than that. He's like 85% the mother box at this point. Like, so I can somewhat give him that, but still, it's a stretch. It is a fucking stretch of like.
It's okay with me that he can do it. I just don't know how they know he can do it.
I feel like at this point, they were like, for some reason, Superman, who could easily fucking kill Steppenwolf in his fucking sleep, we need Superman to be fighting Steppenwolf, but Steppenwolf would obviously get his ass handed to him because he's already almost got his ass handed to him by Wonder Woman. So we can't have Wonder Woman and fucking Aquaman and fucking Superman all fighting at the same time. So let's trap these two under a rock, right? Yeah. What is Batman doing? Batman's keeping the fucking perimeter secure. Well, how is he going to do that with all these flying things and he's just this one guy? Give him a gun. We'll give Batman a gun and a turret, all right? We need to still make sure that Cyborg and Flash are useful. So what are they doing? They're going to be the people to bring it home. That's who we need Flash to just fucking run because that's all he does. So let's just run him around the fucking town. And then Cyborg stands there trying to connect to this fucking box. That's what that was, 100%.
Like the structure of it as a scene, as a narrative thing, totally fine. I get it. Just I don't know how the characters know how that's what they're supposed to do. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like they know things that fucking why, how.
Yep.
Whatever.
Because Superman realistically could have broke through the force field by himself, killed Steppenwolf within 2 seconds with his fucking eye lasers, and chopped his fucking head clean off, and then walked up to the boxes and separated it by himself. Easily done. That would have been done. Literally, all that work could have been solved in 10 seconds. A Superman just like, Even if he showed up late. That was the thing. Alfred's like, I hope he didn't show up too late. Didn't matter. Literally did not matter. Superman, that is basically what they all were, was let's find a way to kill time until Superman can show up. Like, their plan would not have worked unless he showed up. And that's what I'm saying. That's the problem with DC Comics. You have someone who literally is at the top. He's not even at the top of the scoreboard. He has broken the board. The board is Superman. There's no one else on the board at this point. So it's like every movie's going to be like that. What can we have them do to waste enough time for Superman to get up from his nap, go on a date with Lois Lane, walk his dog, fucking write whatever paper he's got to do, and then show up, hopefully, to help us save the world. Like, that's literally going to be every one of these movies moving forward, because he's that fucking powerful. You don't have that in Marvel, and that's the great part. You don't have that in Marvel. Thor still gets his shit rocked, even though he's a god. Like, that happens. That was something that they said. They did that very well in the first Avengers, where Loki said, as a god, they feel that we're immortal and invincible. Let's test that theory, shall we? And then drops his ass from the helicarrier. Like, that was great. That was them setting up that these guys are gods, but they still are just as much risk as everybody else in this playing field. Like, 100%. So, I don't know, man.
Yes. Like, Hawkeye always feels more believably part of a thing than Green Arrow, even though they both
sure. Basically the same character. Basically the same character.
They're working. Yeah. I don't know. Captain Marvel showed up and seemed pretty strong, but so don't worry about it. Like, I don't know.
I didn't sign on to the whole game. That's still the only Marvel movie I think I haven't seen. I didn't sign on to that one. She was so forced and just out of nowhere, and it literally was one of those things where, in my opinion, it was, we need a heavy juggernaut to go against Thanos, and that is the only reason we make Captain Marvel thing. And the reason why I think I hate Captain Marvel so much of just coming out of nowhere is because they took the time in Guardians of the Galaxy to set up Adam Warlock. And then they just decided not to do it. Like, that end scene exists. That end scene exists. They had Warlock, and that was fine. And then they're like, nah, we'll just do Captain Marvel instead. And she just came out of nowhere. I was like, all right, this is what we're doing now. Okay, sweet. So yeah, I don't know. I just there was a lot of controversial issues with her. I didn't really like how she chose to talk to the Marvel fan base as like an actual individual. I also didn't appreciate the whole, like, I get it. Like, we need. I get the whole aspect of female superheroes. I've got zero issues with that. My issue was like, because she was a female, she was the one person that Rocket Raccoon couldn't make fun of. Like, that's Rocket Raccoon's Schmidt, you know? Yeah. Like, he talks shit about everybody, and then he makes one joke at Captain Marvel, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Like, Rocket Raccoon didn't even apologize to Peter Quill, and they're like best fucking friends. Like, he's still a dick to him constantly. Like, the only person he apologizes to is like Groot. Like, that's it. And then he doesn't know who this is, and he makes one joke, and it was just like I don't know, man. It was a controversial part in the movie, and I was just like, like, let's keep that out. It's Marvel, man. It's fucking comics. Let's just have fun. We're here to have fun. Jesus. So, I don't know. I didn't like that part, but anyways. That aside, my issue with Captain Marvel was that she was forced, and I hated that. I absolutely hated that. I have no issues.
Got some really powerful people too.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
Somehow they manage it better.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that she was thrown out of nowhere, I would have been a lot more happier about Captain Marvel. A lot more happier. If they would have built towards her versus building towards Adam Warlock and then just fucking out of nowhere, nope, we're going to go this way, I would have been a lot happier. But the scene exists. It's at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The scene fucking exists. It's an end scene credit with the Golden People, and they literally say his fucking name. Adam Warlock is a thing. And then they just like, nah, we're not going to do that. No, we're just not going to do that. And that was supposed to be their Thanos breaker, was Adam Warlock, and he fucking is. And they just, fuck it. So, it is what it is. But yeah, so Justice League. That's about where I'm at on that one. We went off a little Marvel changes. That's fine. I mean, that's going to happen. It's fucking comics. But it was, like I said, worth the watch, yes. 4 hours is stupid fucking long.
Yeah, and it's
if you
gets a little up his own ass.
I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
If you watch the first one, you should watch the second one. You absolutely should. Just plain out. There are things that are going to make more sense. There are characters that exist, like Darkseid, believe it or not. He actually is a thing. You'll see that in the second one. Martian Manhunter, you'll find that out too. There are people that exist. So it is worth the watch. Like I said, 4 hours is really long, so you need to dedicate some time to it. Man, that's whenever I started feeling like I'm old. I think that movie made me feel like I'm old. Where I had to be like, man, dude, that's going to take 4 hours out of my day. Like, I felt old at that point where I'm like, man, fuck me, dude. Like, that's a long time. Like, as a kid, I wouldn't have gave a shit. Like, fucking kid, you're watching a movie, you're all like, I hope this shit never ends. Like, you just want to fucking watch that shit forever, you know?
While I was watching it, I was having a great time. It's just, before watching it,
it took a while to get there, too.
Movie. Just attention span wise, I'll sit here and watch 3 straight hours of The Simpsons because half an hour at a time. But sit down and say I'm going to watch 3 hours of a thing. Like, oof.
Yeah, exactly. 100% correct. Yeah, whenever you're looking at it, I have to dig it because I'm one of those people where it's like I don't want to watch it and then stop. And I actually thought about taking a break, and I was just like, nah, let's fucking get it because the same thing. Like. Okay, so I didn't watch WandaVision. I know I've put that out there on the fucking channel, and we're about to do some review shows about WandaVision and fucking the Winter Soldier Falcon stuff.
Yeah.
But so I didn't watch WandaVision, and I was going to just watch the Captain or the Falcon Winter Soldier thing, and like me and my girlfriend, we were going to watch it. She's like, "Well, you got like 10 minutes where you got to record," and I was like, "I don't want to do like a watch 10 minutes and then come back to the episode later." At some other point, you know, like I'm just one of those people where I need to get all of it down in just one go, you know? So it was very hard for me to look at fucking the 4 hours and be like, yeah, I'll just take a break. It's like, nah, just fucking watch the whole thing.
At least they do cut this into like segments, right? They say like
parts.
2, part 3. So I took a break at like, I think it was part 4 or something. Like,
yeah.
And it was before Superman shows up was when I decided to take a break in the middle of the movie.
That's fair. Yeah.
And you can. It's nice, at least, because it's in your house. Like, if they put this in a movie theater, it's fucked up and insane.
Right. So I guess to end this in a traditional dead funny-ish way for review shows, because I know you haven't been around for too many review shows. So, for DC, we're not stacking this against Marvel right now. For DC, if you had to give this a scale of 1 out of 10, where is the Snyder cut sitting compared to the original?
Well, geez, compared to the original is... To say it like simple, the original is bad, and this is good. At least, like, there's stuff where they could have cut stuff out here. There's stuff that's like, it goes on a little too long, but I enjoyed it, and it's way more cohesive, and the characters get time because it's 4 hours long. The characters get time to be built up and stuff. I think it's pretty good, like a 7.5 or something.
7.5.
Well,
okay.
On just a movie scale, I guess, compared to the other DC movies they've made, it's like maybe my second favorite one of them that I've seen.
Okay, that's fair.
After Shazam, I really like Shazam.
Shazam was okay. I actually did not see that one in theaters. I thought that was. I had zero faith in DC. I literally just like I want to say Batman versus Superman was the day I decided I was no longer going to go watch DC movies midnight release. Because I watch every Marvel movie, midnight release, every single one. And Batman vs. Superman was when I was like, that's it. DC had their chance. They fucked it up. I'm not going to waste my night and my fucking money to come watch a DC movie midnight release again. And I have not seen a single DC movie in theaters since then. It's always been after it comes out, and I watch it digital every single time.
I've seen Wonder Woman and Shazam in a theater, and other things I've done 2 in a night. It was just like I'll have a night where I'm like, okay, I need to see how bad this bad thing is. So I watched Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad in a row in one night.
Oh god,
then last summer I watched.
That's some torture right there.
I watched the Justice League that they put out in theaters and Birds of Prey in one night. Birds of Prey.
Oh man, really? I've heard nothing but terrible
fun.
stuff about it. I've not watched it. I've literally heard that it was terrible.
Like, kind of dumb, but it was fun. I don't know.
Okay,
especially after, like, again, same night I watched that fucking Justice League movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Seems great. I don't know.
That's fair.
Comparison.
Justice League was terrible, so that's fair.
Yeah.
If I had to give this a rating overall, I think I would probably put it more towards like a 6.4 for me.
Sure, okay.
If I'm rating it against actual superhero movies, and this includes like Marvel and stuff being brought into the fray, like it drops significantly to like a 3.2.
Oh, wow.
Like it's pretty low. Yeah, Yikes. It's pretty low. Like I said, the movie was drastically improved with this director's cut. But putting it in the same realm as superhero movies, and I know Marvel obviously is the top dog, but even like if I would look at something like Watchmen, this movie fails in comparison. Like it's just not even close.
Oh, I think
they hit
Watchmen.
so.
I don't know.
What? No, Watchmen was
I haven't
phenomenal.
seen Watchmen in a while, I guess.
I feel that Watchmen was one ahead of its time. I think if Watchmen would have came out at you can't make Watchmen in today's world, just too fucking sensitive. You can't make Watchmen in today's world. But if Watchmen would have been released at the start of this superhero push, so like around like Iron Man 1, like right after Iron Man 1, I think that would have been the perfect spot for Watchmen to be released. And it would have been like, holy fuck, like it's not just Marvel. Like there's other superhero movies out there to where like DC was like, hey, we're here. Like back here in the back. Like, you know, like Watchmen would have been like up there and people would have wanted like a fucking sequel or something, which they wouldn't have done, which would have been great.
Back then we had DC, that was when DC made good movies. Well, I guess I don't remember what year this. They had those Batman movies that were actually good. Like, you know, DC was making the best movies.
I was not a fan of Christian Bale Batman, dude. I was not.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
I don't want realistic, man. Whenever it comes to superhero movies, I don't want realistic. And I understand Batman is more of a person and not a superhero. But, like, I don't want to see an average tall version of Bane. Like, I want to see 2-story tall. I'm ripping Batman in half Bane. Like, if I want to watch realistic Batman, I'll just fucking dress up as Batman myself and go fight crime. It's the same shit. There's no difference. Like, the Joker was good. I'll give that one good because it was like human v human. But whenever they're like, we're gonna bring Bane into the frame, and I was like, oh shit. And then it was like fucking Tom Hardy, and I was just like, I mean, and I know nothing against Tom Hardy. I love Tom Hardy. But I was just like, oh, so this is what we're doing now. And it's like they had to resort to like him fucking blowing up shit with bombs and stuff because that was the only way that Bane could do fucking anything. To where Bane in the comics and in the animated movies, he could take down a building by running through the motherfucker like the Juggernaut. Like, it was like, so I don't know.
They did that other movie with Bane, like The Way You Kind of Want Him, and that was a disaster. So
yeah, but that was a different time.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was a conversation I got in an argument with someone, and they were like, "Well, that's just not realistic." And I was like, "What's not realistic?" Well, they have like that big of a fucking guy in a movie, and I was like, "Yeah, because we just keep a fucking green irradiated fucking monster locked up to fucking cast as Hulk in Marvel movies. Like, it's called CGI. What do you fucking think I'm talking about? Like, I don't know what you want from me. You know?
It would have really.
It would have stood out. I guess. It would have stood out weird because that's the role they chose. Exactly. They chose to make it a realistic series, which that I can understand, and I get where it comes from, and that's why it misses the mark for me. I completely understand that in order for it to move forward, that's the Bane they needed. I get that. I 100% get that. But that's why it misses the mark for me, because they wanted to start with a realistic series. If they would have chose anybody else but Bane and just chose another normal fucking get Calendar Man in there or whatever, I don't fucking care. Like another normal person for Batman to fight, that would probably be up there in my fucking series of like fucking favorite movies, you know? Fucking Scarecrow, fucking Two-Face.
Scarecrow's good.
You know, like make any of them the main bad guy versus Bane is fucking roided out jock. You know, like give me fucking Bane. If I'm getting Bane, I want fucking Bane. Like, oh well. It is what it was. But like I said, so yeah, it fails in comparison to me as far as other superhero movies. It's actually pretty low on my list. But that being said, I do highly suggest you go watch it if you're wanting to watch it. Or if you have seen the first one, you're like, I don't know if it's worth my time. I do think it's worth the time seeing the second one. I would actually put it this way. As low as it is on my score, I would be pretty upset at myself if I didn't watch this one and just leaving the Justice Way that Josh Sweden did. Like,
also, I would, regardless of like point scale or whatever, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
That, like a mediocre Marvel movie is kind of formulaic and like one of the lesser Marvel movies, even that's
like Ant-Man.
Maybe, yeah, or I'm thinking like even like the first Thor or something, you know, whatever.
Back when he had like this super blonde fucking eyebrows and he looked super fucking weird.
This movie is an interesting thing, and it has some moments that are really like scenes that are really good.
It had some good scenes.
And like even looking at stuff that was directly in the theatrical version, the color grading or whatever they do, the change stuff, like it looks so much better.
It does. It does. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, I mean, watch it if that's a thing you are interested in.
If you're interested in DC, watch it. If you're interested in superhero movies, watch it. It is 4 hours, so bring a fucking snack and use the restroom before, because it is long. But yeah, you can find it on HBO's where it's being streamed, or HBO Max. They're apparently the same thing, but you have to have HBO Max to see it. I didn't know that because I had HBO and I was trying to sign up for an HBO Max account. And it was like, you already have a login. And I was like, but I fucking don't. I don't own HBO Max. Apparently it's the same fucking thing.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know
the name of the app.
Yeah, it's just the name of the app. So HBO Max, check it out. But yeah, that's been our grade on it. If you want to come back here, hit us in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts on Justice League Snyder's cut. That would be awesome. We'd love to have those conversations with you. Throw them down there. We definitely do respond to comments and fun stuff like that. But make sure that if you enjoyed this content, you like, subscribe. Also, turn on notifications. That way you get notified next time we upload another movie, because as JoJo pointed out, we're not done with DC movies. So we will be back to also give our thoughts and views on those. I'm pretty sure we'll have other people with us too. But as far as whenever it comes to the comics, I think it's pretty fair to say that me and JoJo are probably up there with the comic book knowledge out of everybody on the channel at this point. So yeah, you'll mainly see us, but I mean, that doesn't mean that, you know, I know Kelsey likes to do these reviews when she sees these new movies, and she's got a lot of, I like having Kelsey on this kind of content because she doesn't have the comic book knowledge, so she gives an interesting perspective whenever you have two people who do have the comic book knowledge.
So curious about some of that with
exactly. Because then we can ask her, like, what were your thoughts on Darkseid? Like, that would have been perfect. Like, what did you think about Darkseid? Yeah. Exactly, you know? So it is very important to have those people, too. So hopefully we can get her on a couple of these as well whenever we move forward with the other ones. Not to mention, usually leading up to these kind of things, we like to do DFUs to kind of help give her some of that knowledge as well before the movie comes out, which would have been nice. But I didn't see a point in the Snyder stuff, so I didn't even bring it up. Just because to be honest, we didn't really know who was all going to be in the fucking movie. There really wasn't too much press. I mean, the fucking trailer for this was like nothing. It was like 40 seconds of them just showing random fucking scenes of like concrete and shit. And it was like nothing. Even the poster was like a fucked up Batman mask or something like that.
Very low expectations.
Yeah,
you know,
same here.
I thought it was that movie I saw that was bad, but now more of it.
Right.
That was not an appealing pitch.
That's fair. That's fair. Wow. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So hit those links in the description below as well for the Twitters and the Twitches. And at the end of all this, I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you next time.